So today we're going to be talking about probably the biggest topic coming out of MMA this week. UFC 316 has been announced. Merab Dvalishvili will be taking on Sugar Sean O'Malley, UFC 316 in Newark, New Jersey. This is a fight that we have known to be coming for quite some time now. It made sense for it to happen at UFC 316. Merab will be the first champion to attempt to defend his belt twice in 2025. Sean O'Malley will be returning from his hip surgery, his torn labrum that he suffered prior to UFC 306 in the Sphere. O'Malley's returning in June. Best case scenario for O'Malley here. And this is an interesting fight. We saw it once before. Merab won 3 rounds to two, 4 rounds to one, however you want to look at it. But Merab won that fight rather convincingly. The optics had it. The Merab's rounds that he won were rather dominant, and Sean potentially won round 1 and 5. Right? Is that what people have been saying? Uh, I think he only won round 5 personally. But the rounds that Sean won were close. Uh, I have to go back and rewatch that fight. It might have been 3 and 5 now that I'm thinking about it. But Sean O'Malley had a kind of an odd fight. He wasn't himself. He wasn't as aggressive, and he was not letting his hands go. And in doing so, he caused himself a difficult night and a lot of criticism for his performance. But it wasn't that Sean O'Malley wasn't himself, it was that Merab Dvalishvili is a very difficult fighter to figure out. That constant up and down movement, the constant threat takedown. You really know what Merab's going to do next. He keeps you guessing. That's something that him and Bilal Muhammad do very, very well. Magomedov Ankalaev did it very well against Alex Pereira at UFC 312 or 313. My apologies, but that was a really interesting fight with Merab and Sean, and Merab just showed that he was on another level, and I think he might be able to do that again. Merab striking as Umar Nurmagomedov at UFC 311 and the pace that he put on in that fight, I don't know if Sean will be able to handle that necessarily. And Sean's a terrific fighter. He's a terrific striker. He's an entertaining fighter. He's the money fight in the division, and that's why he's getting this fight. I've talked about it in a previous video. I'm not really sure that Sean is worthy to get that title shot again, following a loss, kind of getting an immediate rematch per se. But he's the money fight, and he's gonna get that opportunity, particularly in an era where the UFC is getting criticized for having boring champions. Sean's far from boring, and I don't know if Sean is the best bantamweight contender. I think Peter Yan was worthy of the shot. I think they should fight again, Yan and O'Malley. Umar Nurmagomedov is realistically the second best bantamweight, with Merab being number one. That would be a good fight to see O'Malley and Umar Nurmagomedov if we ever get that fight. But Rob can do, he could do whatever he wants after this fight. He could take a Peter Yan fight if he beats Sean O'Malley. He could fight Umar again. Merab Dvalishvili may have an incredible year here. He talked about how he wanted to potentially defend the belt 4 times this year and break a record, and that would be something that would really put Merab on the map here. I think for Merab in this fight with O'Malley, the rematch, I think all that really would stop Merab is his focus. And not to say that Merab's someone who is unfocused or undisciplined, but we also know Merab's a little erratic at times. Some antics that he does, focusing on Sean O'Malley's coach, trash talking with, uh, you know, his team there, Tim Welch, and just some different antics he does in the octagon. Some things that may distract him per se. But at the end of the day, Merab Dvalishvili is the machine. Has excellent cardio. He has excellent wrestling and takedown ability. He has good striking, not in a traditional sense, but he can mix it up and make things ugly. And I thought he outstruck Umar Nurmagomedov in their fight. I thought Merab was excellent on his feet, and could he pose trouble for Sean? I don't necessarily think so. Uh, Nurmagomedov is short and stocky, just like Merab is, and Sean's a little bit long. He can you know keep Merab away from him. The closer that Merab gets, Sean able to get some punches off in there. He's a sniper. Maybe he could smother Sean as well, and that would be another interesting way for Merab to beat Sean O'Malley. To beat him in a different style would be rather impressive. I think Merab is a pound for pound number 3, 4 fighter in the world. I have him tied for third on our interim title show rankings with Pantoja. I think what Merab can accomplish at bantamweight, I think he already is the greatest bantamweight of all time. What he can accomplish for the next year or two as he's champion, very, very impressive. And he could really build a resume to really be the definitive greatest bantamweight of all time. But he's beaten everybody. He's beaten Henry Cejudo. He beat Jose Aldo. He beat Peter Yan. He beat Sean O'Malley. He's beaten 4 former champions. He's beaten Nurmagomedov. How many guys can say that they've beaten Nurmagomedov in MMA? Not many. And Merab Dvalishvili is a fantastic, fantastic fighter. And I'm excited for UFC 316. I think that's a good main event. And I did think it was going to be UFC 317. However, I thought that was kind of our plan B, was that we would be seeing Sean O'Malley and Merab if Tom Aspinall and John Jones couldn't get done, or if Islam Makhachev wasn't fighting Charles Oliveira or Ilia Topuria. What's UFC 317 International Fight Week going to be now? I still think Merab and Sean was the perfect fallback option, but the UFC may be confident that they are getting a a better option for International Fight Week. I thought it made sense for Sean to fight on International Fight Week, following the fact that he did just headline the Sphere as the A side, but coming off a loss, maybe that's not going to be the case.